Well, any other year we would have said we had a fantastic first season at Paris Saint-Germain. Unfortunately, for the first time in like 15 years, we failed to win Ligue 1. Still picked up a couple of pieces of hardware, not too shabby. Year number two, it needs to be better, and it starts now. And once again, welcome back, everyone, to episode number 142 of Bottom to the Top. We are getting ready to start year number 2 at Paris Saint-Germain. We still need to recap year number 1, however, and of course, we have our summer transfers coming up as well. And what is certain to surprise no one, Gershke Akar for the second year in a row has been the signing of the season for us. We got him from FC Porto, cost $97 million. They made a tiny little profit on him, and by tiny, I mean pretty tiny. Although we were very excited about bringing in 22-year-old striker Iñaki out of Real Madrid for $22 million. He made 20 appearances, scored 13 goals, added 5 assists. That was not too shabby, by the way. Gershke Akar, 33 goals in all competitions. He had 19, I believe, in the league, which was good for second in Ligue 1. Laurent Laribi, we got him from Rennes. We thought we were crippling Rennes at the time, and, we were wrong. 46 appearances for us, 21 goals, 20 assists. Fantastic on that right wing. We also rescued Cesar Ventura and Sebastian Martinez from FC Porto. We spent a lot of money over the last summer. We did rake in quite a bit from player sales, as we will see in a little bit. Martinez ended up starting 44 matches, 44 of his 45 appearances, scored 4 goals. Cesar Ventura in limited time because we could not register him for Ligue 1 because of the registration rules regarding non-EU players. We are going to be rectifying that this coming season. He is going to be a factor in our midfield. 4 goals, 1 assist in 10 appearances, primarily in the Champions League and the Coupe de France. Il LeBlanc also picked up from Rennes for $25 million. Only made 12 starts. Came in off the bench 21 additional times. 13 goals, 4 assists. Kim Seon-il from Fulham, you remember him. We picked him up for $1.5 million from Suwon a number of years ago. I believe at the tender age of 18. Now 24. He made 54 appearances for us in goal. Only lost a grand total of 5 times in all competitions. Javier Osorio, probably going to get a little bit more playing time this year than he did last, although he was very versatile along our back line. $85 million from Real Madrid, added 2 goals. Jens Sørensen, just as a backup goalkeeper, made 1 start for the club. He will remain in backup duties. Antonio Sousa, we paid him a lot of money. I think 450,000 euros per week, which was more than we really got out of him. 38 total appearances, just 1 goal, 3 assists as our left back. Aimore was kind of left out quite a bit, once again, due to the registration rules. He made a total of 17 appearances for the club, added 1 assist. And Amir Saipi, we picked up just as an emergency goalkeeper. He is retiring momentarily. As far as the outs are concerned, we were disappointed to sell Jonah Kusiasari. He was our top goal scorer at the time he left the club. Liverpool made a €98 million bid for him. We figured we would never get more for the 29-year-old striker. He only made 4 appearances for the Reds, scored 3 goals. Paul Vonner, he was unhappy from the get-go. We got $57 million from Al Ittihad. Ansu Fati, the 34-year-old winger, got $57 million from Al Nassr. You'll see a lot of our transactions do involve the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as we sold Alejandro Garnacho for $52 million, Nuno Mensch for $23 million, $8.25 million to finally divest ourselves of Gonçalo Ramos. Andreas Schlederup also unhappy at the club when we first arrived. We sold him to Real Betis. Wouter Gauche, we ended up picking up $35 million from Barcelona. Gregor Muirhead, again, too many non-EU players as a Brit. He fell into that category. We got $98 million from Barcelona. Probably could have gotten a little bit more, but we were rather desperate to sell. And we also had the pleasure of selling Ivan Fresneda again. We sold him from Fulham, and now we sold him from PSG. He's on his way to Valencia for €37 million. 28 wins out of 34 matches, only 3 losses, including on the last match week. Only good for 87 points in League 1 and 7 points behind Rennes, who had an invincible season to take the crown. The board and the team, as we talked about in our last episode, very disappointed with that performance. We made it to the semifinals of the Champions League. In fact, it was the final 20 minutes of the second leg at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid that just did us in. And it was kind of sad where we ended up losing 3-2 on the night, which made us ended us tied after full time and extra time. And we lost that one on penalties. The Coupe de France, though, we did rebound and reclaim our title. It had been a couple of years since PSG had won. We beat Stade Rennais, Nantes, Caen, Lyon, Toulouse, and Marseille on the way to that title. And we started things off with a win over Monaco. They were last year's winner of the Coupe de France in the Trophée des Champions. So 2 pieces of hardware for us this year, which is the most we have ever received in a single season. So probably on paper, in a number of ways, our best season of this Journeyman save, but also one of the biggest disappointments by coming so close and playing so well on average. But we ended up losing Ligue 1 way back in October with our first loss of the year. Our biggest win was a 6-0 trouncing of Troyes on the road. We beat Marseille in the match to remember, 4-1 back in early March. And the goal of the season belonged to Jonah Kusiasari. No need to show it to you because it was just one of those typical outside-of-the-box bangers that seems to win goal of the season each and every year. 600,000 shirts sold. Laribi, O'Malley, Akar, Kim Seon-il, and Dimas Torquato were our top 5 shirt sellers. Torquato, though, on his way out because I've just had it up to here with him. Our best 11, Kim Seon-il in goal, a back 4 of Sousa, Tarasenko, Martinez, and Shusha. Javi Simons and Kieran O'Malley in the midfield, and the front 4 of Torquato, Jonah Kusiasari, Gershke Akar, and Lahurai Laribi. Our fans' player of the year was Gershke Akar. He also won Young Player of the Season at the ripe old age of 23. We already knew he was the signing of the season, and our top goal scorer with 33 goals. Dimas Torquato led the way with 23 assists. The most man of the match awards went to Lahurai Laribi with 7. Highest average rating, no surprise, to Gershke Akar. Dimas Torquato's 23 assists is a new PSG record. And the highest transfer fee received ever by PSG was the $98 million we got for Gregor Muirhead. Torquato ended up picking up the Trophée de France footballer of, I guess, I don't speak French. Il LeBlanc also was the best player in the Trophée des Champions. And the best German footballer of the year was Gershke Akar. Nothing really special on our timeline except reminding us that we had 3 players show up on the next gen list, including Glenn Irvin Christensen, who is probably going to be our backup left wing for this coming season with the departure of Dimas Torquato, Jack Anderson, who was out on loan, and Cedric Moser, who we loaned out as well. Real Madrid ended up winning the Champions League. They were the team that knocked us out. They took on Rennes. I am very happy that Real Madrid won the Champions League, because if Rennes did that double, I would have been very upset. Financially, we are a little up and down. We spent a lot of money on transfers, so we are showing a balance in the red of 139 million. We still have 102 million, I should say, in our transfer budget for next season, and nearly $1 million per week in wage budget available. We specifically kept our wages low this past year, one, so we'd have more money available for transfers, but also because we knew we were spending a lot of money on transfers and our debt situation was not going to be fantastic. So anything we could do in season to minimize that, we tried. Virgil van Dijk just managed to bag his Continental B license. You may remember we signed him kind of basically as a meme, as an assistant manager, and when we were over at FC Porto. And we brought him over with us to PSG, and he has developed into quite the assistant manager. He really wasn't much to look at before, but he's been diligent in his classwork, and we are very glad to have VVD on our squad. We have, as we talked about, signed a left-winger, 23-year-old Pietro Baldassarri to a brand new 5-year contract. He'll be earning 190,000 euros per week as the heir apparent to Dimas Torquato. Signing this new 5-year deal basically says to Torquato, Babar. Yeah, this is something I suspected. PSG's total of 87 points is a new record high for a team that did not win the Ligue 1 title. So it just means we had a good year. Unfortunately, Rennes' season was just better. Baldassarri has officially put pen to paper to a new contract, and a few moves have already been made, but our fixtures have been released for the 2037-2038 season. We kick off on the road against Strasbourg, and our first 5 matches, 3 of which will be at home against Guingamp, who managed to remain in Ligue 1 for another year, winning the playoff against Havre FC. Then we've got Monaco, Stade Reims, and Caen to round out the month of August. The Classico derbies will be played on November 1st at home against Marseille, and then on the road on April the 4th, and we will end the season against Monaco. We've been making a concerted effort to shore up our bench for the season ahead, and to do that, we have brought in backup right wing Danny Miller. The 27-year-old English international has capped twice for his country, stands at 6 foot, 171 pounds, extremely fast and agile. We love his crossing ability as well. Fantastic technique. Doesn't love the big matches, and some personality traits may not be the absolute best, but he is a versatile player, and we are very excited to have him come aboard. Now, he will be replacing Yedel Valverde, who, while still contracted to PSG, has already expressed a desire to move on, so we're going to make that happen in the coming window. We've also welcomed in some young depth in the midfield in the 19-year-old Italian U21 international, Mattia Pinata, standing at 6 foot, 178 pounds, still has a little bit of work to do, but looking to be a little bit more of a defensive type midfielder. He's an incredibly hard worker. He's determined personality, very consistent, a great team player, just the kind of thing that we need to shore up our locker room. Lots of stuff going on in the background because we're trying to get all of our ducks in a row. We're going to talk about our outgoings first now that the calendar has ticked over into the month of July and the transfer windows are open all across Europe. Giovanni Fernandez, we already talked about the number of episodes ago. He is on his way to Barcelona, completing a 100 million euro transfer for the 30-year-old Brazilian. We also did find a buyer for Dimas Torquato, and it was our foe that knocked us out of the Champions League. He's going to Real Madrid for a record 135 million euro transfer fee. That is a record brought in by PSG, at least here in this save game. So, of course, that means we are going to be looking for a new captain for the 2037-2038 season. We also said goodbye to Antonio Sousa. We sold him for 91 million. We brought him in for 77 million just last season. A very good player. He just did not produce the way that we were hoping he would, and at 450,000 euros a week, it was just a pretty expensive proposition for a 28-year-old left back, so he is on his way to AC Milan. Also heading out to Italy is 28-year-old central midfielder Kieran O'Malley. English international, he's capped 32 times for the Three Lions. Again, a highly talented player, and a new record transfer fee of 142 million euros. They're paying him 600 grand a week, which is money we weren't just looking to spend. We also did, as you are well aware, need to trim our number of non-EU players. O'Malley was the easiest one for us to sell. Big shoes to fill. Stay tuned. We also managed to fulfill our promise to sell Yedel Valverde. He is on his way to Saudi Arabia. He's going to be playing for Al Ahly for the next 5 years, 50 million euros. Hoping to get a little bit more for him, but he didn't want to be here. We were perfectly fine to let him go, so he's out the door. So 545 million euros so far since July the 1st, brought in by PSG. Whatever will we spend the money on? We'll get there. We're starting off small. We did sign French-Turkish dual national Erşkan Özbey. He is 18 years old, has a bit of development he needs to do, but we think there's going to be a lot of value later on. We got him for 4.4 million when all is said and done, and we have since turned around and loaned him out to FC Nuremberg to hopefully aid in his development. We did find our new left back of the future. We went a bit younger with the position. 77 million to bring in Italian international Vincenzo Brunelli. That's the same amount of money we spent on Sousa last year. Much higher upside. He's only going to cost us 145,000 euros per week. So we're saving nearly 300 grand on a weekly basis for the left back, as crossing ability could use a little bit of work, but he is quick. He is a tremendous defender. His marking ability is absolutely fantastic. High concentration, great personality, consistent, great marking, loves big matches, international experience, all the things that we want in our players. The 22-year-old will be here through 2042. But our biggest signing is going to be the one that replaces Kieran O'Malley. We just got a little bit younger to bring in 27-year-old Stijn Gershkins, the best attacking-minded central midfielder in the world right now. 290 million was a record transfer fee to be paid. We're also paying him quite a bit of money on a weekly basis at 625,000, but a big splash was needed in order to ensure that we are going to once again sit on top of Ligue 1. This is our splash. So as of right now, this is the lineup that we're going to be expecting to field moving into the new season. We still have plenty of preseason football left to play, and there are potentially moves that will need to be made. I think we're still heavy by one foreign player. Yes, bringing in Danny Miller as a backup winger did not help that situation. Kim Son-il is going to start in goal. It's going to be Brunelli. A combination of Sebastian Martinez and Osorio paired next to Dmitry Tarasenko. Shusha will be our right back, a midfield two of Cesar Ventura and Stijn Gershkins, with a front four of Baldassare, Iñaki, Gershke Akar, and Lahurai Laribi as of right now. A couple of striking options on the bench in Il LeBlanc, although there has been quite a bit of interest expressed in him, primarily from Bologna in Serie A, and he has no interest in going there, so right now LeBlanc is staying. We also have Maris Tote. We are also going to be making sure that we have some youngsters who could potentially step up into positions of more prominence on our bench this year. That's all going to get sorted out during the preseason matches, of which, as I mentioned, there are still many. Of course, we're not done with the sale of Marc Namfi to Monaco, the Haitian international, on his way out. Just, I don't know, didn't really have a lot of room left to develop. Even though he was quite a versatile player, we figured we could get money for him. Now we got 34 million up front with a little extra in incentives. Just the one goal in 34 appearances for the club. The 23-year-old Haitian is on his way out the door, which has paved the way for us to bring in a little more depth on the back line, including 19-year-old Romanian U21 international Minea Trifescu. Very strong, standing at 6 foot tall. Still has some room to develop, so we're probably going to be looking at a loan deal for him to continue that development. 8 million from Dinamo Bucuresti for the 19-year-old. And we also secured the services of 18-year-old wonder kid Devin White, German-American dual national, currently out on international duty with the United States senior club. 19 years old, stands at 6'2", 176 pounds. He has some nice speed on him, fantastic tackling ability, wonderful technique, maybe a touch injury prone. We'll see what happens, but his fitness levels naturally are just very high, and having so much international experience at such a young age, we thought that he would be a great investment for the future. 77 million euros to get him from Stuttgart. Wonderkid winger Cedric Moser, 19-year-old French U21 international, has accepted a new 3-year deal to stay with the club, so naturally we sent him out on loan to RSC Anderlecht. The top goal scorer odds from Football Radar have come out for Ligue 1. Gershke Akar, Laharai Laribi, and Stain Gershkins among the top 6. Odds-on favorites, Gershke Akar topping that list. With the emergence of 18-year-old Jack Anderson and the acquisition of Devin White, and the fact that we still were a little heavy on foreign players, we've made the decision to loan out Sebastian Martinez for the season. He's going to go out on loan to Bayern Munich. Hope he enjoys his time in Germany. It's sad to see the kid go, but again, the roster restrictions just a little bit too tight. I didn't want to look for a new starting goalkeeper because Kim Seon-il played so very well for us. Should I have signed a foreign backup winger? Maybe not. But I'm glad that Cesar Ventura is going to be getting plenty of playing time, and Aimore is determined to be one of the best fullbacks in Ligue 1, so we decided to give him a go this year. And you'll see what I mean as we take a look at our season preview. We are odds-on favorite to win Ligue 1, 5-6. Rennes not too far behind us, but they are slipping a little bit at 11-4. Monaco rounding out the top 3. Of the Media Dream 11, we have 8 of the 11. Kim Seon-il, Vladimir Tarasenko, wrong sport. Dimitra Tarasenko, Juan Osorio, Aimore, Cesar Ventura, Gershkins, Gershke Akar, and Laharai Laribi. So we stand on the precipice of yet another Ligue 1 season, and our first hurdle before we begin our regular campaign at Strasbourg is taking on our old foes Rennes in the Trophée des Champions. It's PSG and Rennes. Kim Seon-il getting the start in goal. A back four of Vincenzo Brunelli making his debut. Tarasenko along with Jack Anderson and Alexandru Shusha rounding out the back four. It will be Alban Bayao in the midfield along with Stain Gershkins. We are allowing Cesar Ventura to rest up a little bit after a couple of friendly appearances against Premier League competition. Glenn Oyvind Christensen is going to make his debut as our left wing due to an injury sustained by Pietro Baldassare in the last match. On the right-hand side is going to be Laharai Laribi with a attacking pair of strikers in Iñaki and Il LeBlanc. Gershke Akar also getting the night off, but he will be on the bench. Our fans and our board are expecting a victory and a repeat as, well, champions of the Trophée des Champions. This is a competition that we were able to secure victory in last season in our first year with PSG. It was actually our first competitive match that we played as the manager of Paris Saint-Germain. Hopefully we can repeat our outing last year against Monaco. And Iñaki off the corner kick, his header is going to just miss that inside or the near post, and it will go out for a goal kick for Rennes. We played just under 15 minutes turnover, and Iñaki feeding it forward. Il LeBlanc is going to catch up to it. LeBlanc will beat Lopez for the first goal of the match and his first of the season. All Il LeBlanc seems to do is score goals when he plays. He is our third choice striker right now behind Iñaki and Gershke Akar. Nice defensive play by Bayou, which is what we're looking for out of that left central midfield position. We have gone a bit more defensive to try to shore things up on our back end and looking for more. Final third throw in Laribi giving it back. Gershkins up for Laribi, has it knocked away. Chased down by Stain Gershkins, and his left-footed blast is just going to rocket a bit wide. Lambourd to throw it in. He was the leading goal scorer in all of Ligue 1 last year. Looking to get it started. Andresen over for Aspar. They're playing a rather narrow system at the moment, but Vasiliev will push it wide to the left. Vasiliev blocked by LeBlanc. Laribi with it, but Labat is going to pick his pocket. Labat carrying it forward across for Lambourd. Pushing it deep. Lambourd challenged into the middle, and Abdelhakim Habar will get it past Kim Seon-il to equalize at 1 here in the 23rd minute. A beautiful finish. He did have a man right on in front of him. I believe it was Bayo. I'm just going to check out. No, it was not. In fact, it was Stein Gershkin sliding in, trying to make the stop, but Hebar getting that one off in just enough time to beat Kim Seon-il to his left. And 1-1 is your score as we tick down to the 30-minute mark of this match, coming from Rogers Centre in Toronto. So we're playing the Trophée de Champion in Canada, which I was unaware of was actually going to happen. The run of play going Rennes' way for quite a bit now as Gershkins tries to knock it away, but Guest will end up with the ball up the middle. Alex Guest circling it back. Fofana. Gershkins will chase after him as he moves it up the left wing. Fofana still with it. Labat knocked away by Shusha, but Hebar coming to the ball, and a brilliant save by Kim Seon-il will lead to a Rennes corner kick, which Labat is going to get set to deliver from the near corner. Sends in the left foot, headed across to the back post and cleared. Hebar will gain control for Rennes, but that will do it for the first half. Rennes leading PSG in shots on goal, 6-5, shots on target 3-1, and 63% of the possession. But the scoreboard, well, it's all tied up. Il LeBlanc and Abdelhakim Habar, the goal scorers in this one. 1-1 is your score after 45. We are not going to make any changes. We are going to talk about how disappointed we are in the possession numbers and see if we can bump those up here in the second half. Il LeBlanc also picking up a yellow card to add to his goal. Played 10 minutes of this first half. The first highlight is going to go to Rennes. Hebar setting in the corner. It's going to be Morten Andresen putting it past Kim Seon-il to give Rennes a 2-1 lead in this match. And that is not what we wanted to see, my friends. First couple of shots of the second half going Rennes' way. So we are going to demand more from our team. And with a little under 30 minutes to go, we are going to knock down the directives. We're going to go a little shorter. We're going to take the tempo down a little bit. We'll also play for set pieces because we are very good at those. And move our press up just a little bit as well to try to regain control of this match. Brunelli to throw it in. He's got Iñaki, who will settle it down before playing it back for Biao. Cross for Stein Gershkins, has two men on him, so we'll play it back for Tarasenko. Gershkins with it again, flipping it forward, looking for LeBlanc, but Fofana will deal with that fairly easily. Hebar feeding it up the right for Lambord, looking to move it to his left foot, switching the play over for Labat, into the middle for Hebar. We're playing decent defense, but they're able to get it through to Labat, who clanks it off of the post. Lahore Laribi will gain control along that near sideline, but still not quite enough, so we are going to make changes. Bayout playing very well, but Cesar Ventura is going to ultimately come in. Laribe will cede way for Gershke Akar. We are going to leave Il LeBlanc in as our striker, and Javier Osorio will replace Jack Anderson, making his senior debut with PSG. Hopefully we can shore things up on that back end a little bit. So Fofana's going to throw it in to get things started for Rennes. We've got just over 15 minutes remaining in this match. Ravella feeding it forward to Aseko and Keeley. He finds Hebar in stride. Hebar knocked away from him by Akar, but Ravella regains control. Fed forward for Lambord up the right wing. Lambord stops. Reverses field. Finds Keeley in the middle. Akar in there playing deep, and it looked like it was a clean tackle, but they are going to say it was a penalty. And Lambord will step up. Kim Seon-il, though, stepping up even more and making a masterful save on that attempt from the penalty spot. But it will be a corner for Rennes as Labat looks to deliver this one in. Trying to pick out Hebar. He can't. Guest has the clearance. Out for Labat. Back for Alex Guest. To Labat. Moving it deeper. Labat still on it. And he will just dribble it off of the leg of Brunelli. And another corner for Rennes. Labat will take this one as well. Is he going to go near post again? He will, but this time Shusha able to clear it away for PSG. We've got to go on the attack, boys. If we have hopes of raising our first trophy of the year, we are expected to win. Gershkin's with the corner. Tarasenko's header just too strong. Didn't get over that one quite enough to put it in on target. Only 5 minutes remaining in this match. 4 to be added on in added time, and it's not going to be enough. Rennes is going to come away as the Trophée des Champions winners for this year. And hopefully this is not a precursor for what we can expect from our season. Hoping to end the video by winning a trophy. Sadly, it was not to be, falling to Rennes 2-1 in Toronto. I'm going to blame jet lag. We were just in England a couple of days ago. But our friendly schedule is over. The regular season is about to begin as we look to reclaim the Ligue 1 title. I hope you were here for that. Make sure you hit like on this video. Subscribe if you have not. Thank you all for your support. And I will see you for the start of the regular season. It's coming up tomorrow on Bottom to the Top. I'll see you then. Till tomorrow, bye-bye.